Hey, welcome back to the Improvement Channel. Today we are putting in a new air compressor. The old one went out, so we're going to have to replace it, and I want to show you what my air compressor setup is. Let's get going. Here are some of the key features on this air compressor. It is a 26-gallon air compressor. It is 4.5 cubic feet per minute, 4.5 CFMs. It runs at 150 PSI. It has quiet technology, which means that it is running on a dual piston system at a lower RPM to be 80% quieter. So it says it runs at 70 decibels. While that stat does not mean much to me, I will give you a demonstration at the end of the video on how quiet it actually runs. So make sure you stay tuned to the very end. I'm also going to do a quick review on it after I've owned it for 3 months. That's when the video will release, and I'll kind of go over some things that I like about it and kind of how it's working out for me or things I don't like. We have reached the perfect time in the video for you to go ahead and smash that like button. Go ahead and share this with a friend that you think might enjoy something like this, and most importantly, make sure you subscribe. I did get caught by surprise on the weight. This thing does weigh 125 pounds, and this getting it up into the attic was no joke. All right, let's put it up there in the attic. All right, so what I'm gonna do is tie this ratchet strap off, loop this through, and I'm gonna go ahead and climb on up the steps. And as Devin assists me in the lift of getting this up the steps, I'm gonna pull it up there. Okay, so we're up in the attic. You can see right here, that's the door to the house. So basically everything on this step up, actually everything over here where you see the insulation is of course living area. I spared you the drama with getting this thing moved up into the attic. It was pretty rough. 125 pounds with a 14-year-old helping you downstairs as you pull it up with ratcheting strap wasn't probably the best, most well thought out plan. But we got it up here, and you can see me working it over here into the area it's in. It's a nice place where you can stand up for the most part. I've definitely worked in worse areas, but on the other hand, you can't stand up and you end up bumping your head a few times, all that fun stuff. So I did opt for a maintenance-free unit like my old one. This one, you don't change the oil in, that kind of thing. You put one up here in the attic and you get one that you have to change the oil in. If you're like me, you end up not changing the oil just because it's such a pain to do that up in the attic. Here we go. I've got this plugged into our dedicated outlet for the air compressor. I had that put in when I had the house built. Let's get this thing fired up and see what it sounds like. Oh, that is a lot quieter. Yeah, that's going to be a lot better. I wish I could run the old one for you so you can hear the difference. The old one would about put your ears out standing this close to it. You sure couldn't have a conversation. Can't leave the attic without bumping your head. Here's some footage of the old air compressor, which was much lighter, much smaller, easier to move around, and even had a little more CFMs. But I think I'm going to be real happy with this Quiet Tech air compressor. If it lasts half as long as this one here, as you can see, is dated of 02, almost 18 years old, I'll be super happy. So the overhead pipe that you just saw in the attic comes down here and has an output to cover this part of the garage. Over to the welding table that the tripod is currently sitting on, and right over here I actually have the hose hooked up, and the other part that comes down, that's the part you saw go across the top of the attic, so it drops down here. So this is perfect for, you know, blowing the rest of the garage out, well on out into the driveway, also airing up trailer tires, car tires. We've hooked the impact wrench to this. The air compressor works great with the impact wrench, no problems. I don't have a sander or a grinder or anything with super heavy use, it would not work well for that, but it does work well for everything I use it for. Hey, here's a couple little things we've got coming up. This is going to be a headboard for a customer of mine, a guy that lives here in the neighborhood that I'm becoming friends with. I'll have some more for that. I'll have some more of that coming for you. Also, I've got a project where I make these. We're kind of fast forwarding a little bit here since I'm giving you a review on the air compressor. You'll also notice that the pegboard has been added and was black over there. That's a future project along with garage lighting that you're now getting to kind of take advantage of. But I'll go through all of those videos in the near future. Also, this is a great time to subscribe, hit the like button. Greatly appreciated. Please share this with someone that you think might enjoy it. It really helps our ratings. So, as promised, the air compressor is not on. No cars are passing by. We've only got the dog lapping up water in the background. Hopefully you cannot hear that. But the air compressor is located about right here overhead. So let me let a bunch of air out. You will hear that, and then we will see what the air compressor sounds like. Okay, it fired on. I heard it, and I can hear it running, but vaguely. So that is perfect. In the guest room, you can't hear it. It's gone from firing up occasionally, the old one in the middle of the night, and waking my son up when he comes over to visit. And that is not ideal, to say the least, because you end up forgetting you leave it on all the time. This one really doesn't leak any air, so it doesn't cycle on and off much at all, which is also great. But with anything going on in the house, you do not hear this air compressor working. So to me, that's perfect. Whether you have it up in the attic like I do, or you have it over in the corner of the garage, you just don't need it loud. You know, if you can get around that, that's great. So thanks for joining me, and we'll look for you guys on the next one.